There's been a seemingly innocuous trend I've seen in multiplayer games over the last few years that, on its face, is overwhelmingly popular among players. This trend is advertised as a solution to communication, a one-size-fits-all fix to the problems that arise when you have to stop playing your competitive game to type information to your teammates. The trend I'm talking about, of course, is in-game voice chat. Voice chat isn't a new phenomenon in gaming. All the way back in 2000, the Dreamcast had a program called Dream Call, which was a very simplistic voice chat program that worked with a few games for the system, such as Alien Front Online. The program people most commonly associate with gaming voice chat, Xbox Live, launched just 2 years later in 2002, and Microsoft quickly made voice chat integration mandatory for any Xbox game that was capable of utilizing their online service. Voice chat on PC is even more well established. From what I could tell, voice chat on the PC started with Marathon, which was released in 1994, before voice over IP became readily available. Voice chat has seemingly been part of online gaming for nearly as long as we've had the ability to play games on the internet. So what is competitive gaming like in games without voice chat? What problems are brought up by the inclusion of voice chat? What are the underlying causes of these problems, and what, if any, solutions are there for the people playing these games? One thing that immediately becomes apparent when moving from a game without integrated voice chat to one that has it is the ease of use. It's no wonder developers make such a big fuss over how voice chat will make communication with your team easier. Coming from League and switching to Valorant this summer, I was blown away at how much quicker and easier I was able to tell my teammates important information, and know for certain they had received that information. In League, integrated voice chat is only available to members of a pre-made party, meaning if you queue up with your friends and you don't want to use Discord, Skype, or TeamSpeak, you can use League Voice to talk to your friends. However, this means that if you queue up without a full stack of 5 players, you are inevitably leaving some of your teammates out of that voice call. How do you communicate with players outside of your pre-made group? Through text chat and League's smart ping system. If you hold down your smart ping button and your left mouse button on a part of the map, then flick your mouse in any of the cardinal directions and let go of your mouse button, you will issue a ping at that location on the map. However, because there are only 4 directions you can flick into ping, this means there are a limited number of ideas you can express with those pings. Flick up to warn allies of danger, down to ask for assistance, left to alert allies that an enemy is missing, and right to let allies know you're headed in the direction of your ping. There are a couple other basic pings that are more often used just to get allies to look at a part of the map quickly, but most of the communication done in-game is done through the smart ping system. That doesn't seem like a half-bad system, you might say. The most important information you need to get across is right there for you. You just need to use it. However, the biggest problem most League players have with the ping system is that a good portion of the player base tends to ignore repeated and often important pings from their teammates, or else mute pings entirely. There are definitely valid reasons to do this. For example, a lot of players like to spam the missing ping on their teammates when that teammate makes a questionable play, simply because the missing ping's icon is a question mark. Everyone who plays League has experienced this feeling at least once before, and let me tell you, it doesn't feel good. Another problem that arises from the lack of voice communication among teams is that more subtle or complex information isn't really possible to be conveyed without typing in chat. For example, if I'm playing bot lane and I see the enemy support, a Bard, fall back behind their turret and out of vision, the most applicable ping I have to let my teammates know what's going on is the missing ping. However, let's say I know for a fact that Bard has very low health because I poked him in lane and he's too low to reasonably head to the other lanes to influence them. In this scenario, the only way I can tell my teammates what's going on is by using my missing ping, then typing Bard backing, care for lane gank, or something similar in my team chat. This means I either need to type extraordinarily quickly, use shorthands my teammates might not understand, or move to a safe place to type, losing map pressure and possibly gold for not killing minions. This issue is compounded with the first one I outlined, but made even worse by the fact that text chat messages are accompanied with little more than a very quiet flit noise, a sound that is almost always drowned out by any sort of action happening on screen. This means that even fewer players actually read chat than listen to pings because each ping is paired with a loud and unique sound that all teammates hear unless they have pings muted. Contrarily, communication is quick and easy in Valorant. At the beginning of every game I play, someone in pre-game lobby asks, "So does anyone have a mic?" It's obvious that this simple and convenient communication is important to a lot of players. Otherwise, my teammates wouldn't be asking me to talk to them over voice chat every single game. However, problems with voice chat arise almost every single game I play as well. Players use voice chat to be intentionally annoying, toxic, or outright abusive towards allies. This is much, much worse in older games like CSGO, where I couldn't play a game without someone using a soundboard or just screaming into their microphone with the intention of pissing me and the rest of our teammates off. Even in a much newer game with a much more robust report system such as Valorant, I still get teammates calling me brain dead, asking if I know how to aim, telling me I'm trash, and more. Now, I know I'm not good at Valorant. The clips on screen right now should speak for themselves. But bad play isn't an excuse for toxic behavior. These issues are 10 times worse if you happen to be a woman. If you have an even slightly feminine voice, or God forbid, say you're a girl in chat, you immediately become the subject of abuse if you play any less than perfectly. A study by the Gender Action Portal found that male players, especially lower-skilled male players, would hurl verbal abuse at feminine-voiced players for playing poorly at a higher rate than they would at teammates with masculine voices. Link in the description. I've experienced players going out of their way to try to make this kind of interaction happen. While playing with a friend who is always silent in team voice chat and only talks to her pre-made groups on Discord, someone asked if we were girls. When we both responded with yes, the whole tone of the team voice chat changed. This phenomenon is made even worse by the fact that I am trans, and despite what I know is probably best for me, I use voice chat extensively when playing Valorant to communicate information with my team. When my teammates heard my voice and compared it to the text chat message where I confirmed I am a girl, they became hypercritical of me for my plays and even started laughing at me for my voice, calling me a man and asking if I was transitioning, giggling while they did so. I did what I always do in situations like this and kept quiet about it, only using voice chat to relay info. But I would be lying if I said receiving comments and actions like this didn't hurt. The underlying causes of this type of behavior are pretty obvious if you ask me. At least as far as the misogyny goes, gaming is seen as a male pastime, and girls joining in threatens the delicate lie men have created for themselves that girls don't play video games, aren't good at video games, and shouldn't be playing. Games that are more popular among women, especially casual and mobile games, are discounted as being not real games, and those who play them decried as fake gamers. However, when women play games that tend to have a larger male audience, especially competitive multiplayer games, they are all but driven away with abusive behavior from their male contemporaries. So what can be done about this? Companies have tried, with little success, to make female players more included. This tends to be met with accusations of pandering from male players, and in the case of Riot's PAX workshops for women and non-binary people in the League community, can even result in some of the most dedicated male community members boycotting the game in question. This kind of women need to get out of our space mentality is obviously utter bullshit, but when it's so prevalent that female players will go out of their way to avoid going pro because they don't want to deal with the abuse from fellow players and fans, it's not just bullshit, it actively harms the growth of these games as entertainment products. There's no way to stamp out toxic behavior altogether, but more direct and detailed reporting systems can go a long way. The 2 Riot games I've examined in this video have 2 different reporting systems, and both get some stuff right and some stuff wrong. In League, when you file a report against a player, there's a text box you can write details into, in order to help the employee reading your report find the abusive behavior more quickly and easily. However, reports can only be filed during Champion Select or after a game is done, and once you leave the post-game lobby, the option to report any players from that game is lost. This means that if you forget the specifics of the abusive behavior another player throws at you, or reporting them at all after the game slips your mind before queuing up for another, or closing the client, you no longer have the ability to report that player at all, and there's no guarantee that your teammates will have reported them for abuse not directed at them. Valorant, on the other hand, allows you to report players after leaving the post-game lobby and even during the game. The downside to Valorant's system is that there is no text box accompanying your report, meaning you are unable to write down specific incidents in your report. This means your report looks identical to every other report filed, and the quantity of reports against a player is weighed more heavily than the severity of the reportable offenses. Combining these 2 systems, where you can report a player at any time before, during, or after a game, and have the option to write specifics in a text box, accompanied by a robust alert system letting players know when their report resulted in punishment, should result in more reports being filed for abusive behavior and instill confidence in players that their reports are actually making a difference in the game they're playing. Voice chat is a wonderful invention, and I can't imagine I would have as many online friends as I do if gaming sessions on Skype weren't a thing when I was in high school. Being able to communicate in real time with your teammates, whether it be to share information or just joke around and have fun, is one of the most fun and rewarding parts of playing online games for me. But gaming companies need to stop treating voice chat as if it's going to solve communication in games altogether. Until the problems of disruptive, annoying, and flat-out abusive behavior are solved, there are going to be many players who decide to simply forego voice chat entirely, opting to mute their teammates and play in the dark instead of dealing with all the shortcomings of the system. Game developers need to come to terms with the fact that gaming communities as a whole have a toxicity problem. and simply dropping 5 players into a voice channel and letting them communicate however they want isn't going to solve anything and will only make these issues worse and more apparent. Thank you all for watching my video about voice chat in games. I had a really fun time making this video, and I learned a lot about Premiere just from experimentation with a few things. It's been a really long time since I made a video essay like this, and I hope to start writing and making more of these again now that I'm back on the horse. If you like this video, please consider leaving a like and subscribing. Thank you again for watching all the way through to the end. I'll see you guys on the next one.